Hello and welcome to part 2 of the video. We are now doing the service on this Fiesta 00 Fiesta 1.25 16 valve VTEC, and engine is nice and warm. We're going to take the oil and filter off now because we can do it underneath a lot easier, and yeah, let's get cracking. Right, if you need to zoom in or anything, you can. Only if you need to. That was very, very tight. Too tight, really. I'm going to lift this up a bit more. Feeling. See if I can do it without getting covered again. So I'm just going to let that. Not a drop on me. Oil is kind of black and thin, so it's good that we're changing it. We'll let that drain out. As that's draining out, you can undo that. I can't touch it because it's bloody hot. So I'm going to get my oil filter ratchet. Can you see that? And it's adjustable from the bottom. Put it on. And hopefully we've got enough room to use this. Yeah. Just really got enough room. I got it now. Ow. There we go. It's going to be a lot of room. It's still tight. Now, there we go. Now, let's bring this closer to me because it's going to leak out oil. There we go. Now, it's tight. Now, let that leak out before you kind of go any more with it. Because it can be messy trying to take these oil filters out. You just get covered in oil. So, no harm, just kind of leave it there for a few seconds just to drain off. So a good thing to do is compare your new one against your one. Make sure it's the same height. Make sure the seal is the same thickness, and obviously the threads are the same. Now what I've just done there is I've just put a bit of oil around the seal, and it's just spread it around with your finger. Just makes it easier to take it off for the next time, and then literally screw it on. It should go on nice and easy. You're not having to force that on. So a good thing is make sure your hands are nice and clean. There's no oil, because you want this tight as you can by hand. You don't want to use any tools on it. Nah, that is tight enough. Always a good thing just to wipe all the oil that has spilled from it. If you have any brake cleaner, you can actually spray brake cleaner on it, and that takes all the oil away. Really good for that. Now, here's the sump plug. Again, there's a O-ring in the middle of that, but I can see it's okay, so I'm not having to worry about that. 13 mil, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that before. Okay, it needs to be tight, but nowhere near as tight as it was coming off. And again, wipe the little bit of oil that's there, just so you know if you're having a problem with it leaking afterwards. Now I have removed the oil cap is here, it just goes on just behind the air box here. I always bang on about oil in my videos, vitally important. I'm using 1040 semi-synthetic on this, Ford spec, and technically yes, you can use 530 Ford spec as well. This engine is done over 100,000 miles, so there's going to be wear in it. It's just better to use that slightly thicker oil, but you want to make sure, some cars you can get away with it, some cars you can't. I know on these E-Tech engines you can, so I'm going to use it. I'll put 3.5 litres in first, just enough so I can see, hopefully I can start it then. And then let it fill the filter and double check it then. That's 3.5 litres. To give that a few minutes to settle. On the dipstick here we have 2 notches cut out. The bottom notch is the minimum and the top notch is the maximum. So I can just quickly dip this for the minute just to see. It's just going to allow me to know if I need to put more in or can I start it now. And as we can see, we're actually above the maximum mark. So I know we can start this now safely. The oil filter is going to take some oil. So I'm going to wait for the oil light to go off, leave the engine running for another 30 seconds, turn it off. After about 30 seconds I'm going to dip the oil then just to make sure we're okay. Right, I've left that now a minute or so. Just going to wipe the dipstick again, dip it. I might not need to put any more in, or I might need to put a little bit in. We'll see. We'll find out. As we can see, we're in the middle between the 2 marks now. So I need to put a tiny bit more in, maybe half a cupful, something along them lines. Now, see what we look like now. Bang on. Sorted. That's the oil and filter. Next what we'll do is the air filter. Right, I have now changed cameraman. Sean's my cameraman. Say hello, Sean. What we're going to do now is we're going to take off the air box. There's a few bolts around it which are 8 mil, and just for quickness sake I'm going to use an air tool because you can't beat an air tool. That nut seems to be broken. It's just brilliant how fast an air tool makes your life so much easier. Right, just literally, I was going to pull out that little pipe, but I'm not going to. It's a bit stiff, so I'm just going to turn that over. As we can see, an air filter. Now, to be fair, it looks bloody good, but we are going to replace it because we have a new one, so we might as well.
Fail.
Now, nice new shiny one. Goes in the same way. Make sure it does fit. Now,
Sounds about right.
Slipped out. Might be easy just to put it in this way. Yeah. Put it in that one first. Make my life a lot easier. Ah, we're in, we're okay. And just that one I didn't need to take off. So that's that on. Next thing I'm going to do is just check all the fluids. Let the engine cool down a little bit more before I do the spark plugs. So I'm going to check the brake fluid. Now we are doing brakes on this car, so if this fluid is a bit low, which when I shake it it's not, but if it was we wouldn't have to worry about it because we are doing the brakes. Also check the level here, so if you come here, Sean, you can see the fluid moving. Yep. Right, so we know we're okay there as well. Next thing I want to do is check the antifreeze, see if we've got enough or do we need more. Now, so I put my little gadget in. Those who have watched my videos have seen this a good few times. The more that are floating, the better. As we can see, we've got kind of 1.5 floating. Now, if there was 2, oh, it's going back up. It's going. Yes. Right, we're at minus 15. That's kind of okay, but I'm not particularly happy with that. So I'm going to put a litre of pure antifreeze in it, which then we will be fine. But what I first need to do is suck out this. Right, what I like to use is one of these extractors. As you can see, there's a pump here, and obviously as I pump, it sucks oil out, sucks water, does kind of everything. So what I want to do is put that in here, and I just want to suck the whole of the expansion bottle out. Depending on your car, normally holds around a litre. Camera up here, look. Normally holds around a litre, maybe a bit more, just depending on your car. So get all that sucked out, which it is. Now I want to replace it with pure antifreeze, and it is important when you do antifreeze. If you add it to your car, make sure it's pure, because it's a lot stronger, it hasn't been diluted. This antifreeze is new antifreeze I've got. It can go in absolutely any car, so it is designed for every single car, and it can mix with any fluid. It's absolutely brilliant. It saves a lot of hassle, especially me anyway, because I used to have to buy 3 or 4 different types of antifreeze, and it was an absolute nightmare. So what I'm going to do is just top this up until it's the maximum with pure antifreeze, and that should do me for this. Now obviously if you do this, you can't, I'm just going to move that out of the way now, you can't test this again, because you'll be testing pure antifreeze. You need to let this settle and mix itself in with the original water and antifreeze to get a true reading. So I can see now we're on the level. I put a bit more than a litre in, but that's not a problem. So the only real proper way of testing that is in a couple of days once the water and the oil. But I know we've got 2 floating, which is good for minus 15. I've put just over 1.5 litres of antifreeze in there, so I know, I just know in experience we're going to have at least 3 floating, which is good for minus 23. So I'm not going to be worried about that. Next thing I want to do is put in water and the stuff for the windscreen wiper. So put a bit of screen washing first, and then top the rest off with water. Now, like I always say, when it comes to mechanicking or doing anything with your car, preventive maintenance is the key. You want to try and get problems before they become a problem. So when you're servicing it or doing anything like that, it's always good just to check, make sure there's no pipes that are rubbing, make sure there's no, you know, if a pipe has a clip and the clip is out, make sure it's in the clip, make sure, you know, all your rubber hoses are okay, because there's nothing worse than something happening down the road, because a pipe rubbing against another pipe, and before you know it, it causes a hole. You have to stop because it's a water pipe or whatever, you know. So just to give everything a good check, make sure everything's nice and tight, go around everything. Only takes a few minutes, and believe me, and can save you an awful lot of hassle. Right, next thing we need to do is the spark plugs. Right, now we're talking on spark plugs. Now in this particular car, we have a coil pack and HT leads. Now, some people may be afraid of taking all four off at once because they don't want to get them mixed up, but to be honest, you can't really get them mixed up, and I'll show you why. This is number one. Number one is always nearest the timing belt, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not the firing order of the car, but that's the order of the actual HT leads. The firing order is 1, 3, 4, 2, but that doesn't really matter at the minute. So what I'm trying to say is, if you pull out all the HT leads, this one can't fit into number one, so you can't really get it messed up. If you put this one into number two, you can see there's a big huge extra lead here, so you can't really go wrong, but it's whatever you're comfortable with. If you don't want to take them all out, well then don't take them all out. It's really whatever you're comfortable with. So I'm just going to remove all four of them just because it's easier. Now we're using a 3/8 ratchet with a long extension and a 16mm spark plug socket. And again, these don't want to be tight, and hopefully they're not tight, because if they are, it can cause you a problem, and they're not, which is good. So I can undo that. Now what we're looking for is a nice biscuity colour, not a black colour or anything like that. And what have we got? We've got a lovely biscuity colour, which is exactly what we're looking for. And with the new plugs I have are genuine 4 plugs, but what's always a good thing to do is just make sure the thread length's the same, the size of the plug is the same, so it's a 16mm. The threads are the same, everything looks the same. That's what you want to basically look out for. Because if the plugs are longer, then if you put them in, you're going to do damage, serious damage to your engine. If they're shorter, you won't do any damage to your engine, but your engine might not run properly. So it's important that they're the same length. And it's also very important that this little electro gap here, you don't crush that, you don't drop that on itself, because if the gap goes smaller, the car's not going to run properly. Now these aren't too far down there, but in this we do have a little rubber seal. Now it doesn't seem to be working very well for the last couple of times, but it's still in there, so it means I can put it all the way down. But what is very, very important is you screw this down by hand as much as you can before you even attempt to put the ratchet on it, because you can cross thread these very easy. So you want to get these, and once you've got it on, which I've screwed it down there now, all I'm doing, I'm not going to use the full force of the ratchet because you don't want to do that. I'm going to use the top end of the ratchet and just give it a nice tweak, just like that. Now that's it, simple. I'm going to do the other 4, we'll turn the camera back on once I've got all them. Right, so I've got all 4 plugs in. It's a good thing to check all 4 plugs, make sure they're all the same kind of colour. Now what's important, because these are quite long, what can sometimes happen is, as you slide this down the head, if you imagine this is the plug, you can accidentally miss the plug. It still fits in and you think you've got it in, but you actually haven't, and the car then can miss. And I've seen a lot of people do it, even kind of experienced mechanics. You want to make sure you get that in and you hear a good click. And you want to get it, like that there now hasn't gone on the spark plug, but it's gone inside the hole. Can you see that? So it easily happens. So you need to get it nice and straight. Make sure you hear a nice click. Same again. Make sure you hear a nice click. Now there's little wings on the side of these HT leads, so you can just put the extra lead in just to make it nice and neat. So I'm just going to do that, as you can see. The lead's in nice and neat. Now they're all in. What I need to do is I need to start the car just to make sure that it's not missing. The new plugs are okay and nothing's going to happen. So we need to do that now. As we can hear, it's not missing, it's not doing anything like that, so we're good. That is basically really kind of a service on one of these things. You know, there's nothing really to it. You can go into the start, which I'm going to start going to a few more videos, pollen filters and doing a few more checks, but I just like to try and keep the videos all that kind of separate. So if I do a service, just by doing a service, I'm going to do checks just by doing. So it's really as simple as that, really. We still have a good few more videos coming up on this. We have a timing belt, which I forgot to mention. Got to do a full timing belt kit in this. We've got to do brakes, calipers, a few other bits coming up. So stay tuned. Hope it helps. Thumbs up and subscribe, and don't forget to get your hands dirty. See you for the next one.